Challenge.
All right, guys, welcome to another song title challenge. This is a little gift for the creatives. You get inside the mind of a hit songwriter. You send in your best titles to info@daredevilproduction.com. Once again, production is singular. There is no S. info@daredevilproduction.com. Put in this subject line, song title challenge, in all capital letters so that it gets into the right folder. And then I spring these titles to Brent live on the air, and you can hear how a hit songwriter is going to think about writing that song. And it's interesting because it comes from all different angles, maybe angles you haven't thought of because you're kind of stuck in a rut with the title. He's going to help get you out of that. It's absolutely free. You own 100% of the song. There is no co-write. It's just a fun, creative exercise just to kind of keep everybody moving along and motivated. Brent, you have anything you want to add to that before we get started?
Yeah, just that, it's not a co-write. Whatever title you throw out, whatever I give back, angles, that sort of stuff, you can use any of it, all of it, none of it. It doesn't put me as a co-writer on the song. So any of this stuff is just my gift to you. So you don't have to worry about that. If it's a song title that you love or one you're not sure of, not sure what to do with, send it on. And what I'm going to do is I look at these from a country hit perspective. So I'm a country hammer, so that's going to be a country nail, and I'm going to see how could I write this for country radio, which a lot of it's going to apply to other genres as well. So it doesn't matter if you're writing rock songs, pop songs, whatever. You can send any of those titles in because the point is to look at it through some different lenses, give you some ideas on how to think about your titles as well. That's it.
All right. Awesome. So, by the way, send in your best titles. If it's kind of mediocre, basic stuff, we're going to probably not read it over the air, but send in, you can send as much as you want. There's no limit to what you can send in. We try to pick the best ones and move forward. So, are you ready, Brent?
Not at all. Let's do it.
All right. We spring them live on the air here. So, this is from Bill Kapik, and the song title is The Only Heart You Had Was Mine.
The only heart, I'm writing it down here, you had was mine.
I got some ideas on this right off the bat, but I'm going to let you roll.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It's a nice title. It's compelling. It makes me like, oh, okay, kind of hits you a little bit. So the only heart you had was mine. First thing I think of is, obviously, you let the title write the song. So what clues are in these words that tell me what this could be about? Okay, the only heart you had was mine. So the only heart you had, meaning you didn't have another heart, so you're heartless. You don't have a heart, but I loved you. I gave you my heart, but you're a heartless son of a biscuit. Exactly, right? So,
yeah.
So there's a negative connotation to this because you're calling your ex-lover heartless. I loved you, you heartless jerk. Okay, so that's,
it could be like a good old Miranda Lambert song, right? Like
it could be.
Old Carrie.
Yeah, you could go that way because my first thought is country ballad. Sorry for myself. What was me? You're a bad person. I gave you my heart, and apparently that was the only one you had.
I was thinking up tempo, like what was the Before He Cheats, something like that.
Yeah, which that would be the way I'd want to go with it because in general tempo wins. So first impression, like, oh, that sounds like a Stone Cold country done me wrong kind of Hank Williams Sr. thing, which is awesome. Love Hank Sr. But if we're trying to get this on the radio today, may not be the best angle. So yeah, first fix is to put tempo on it. I was teaching a workshop last night, the Building the Hit workshop, and one of the examples was These Days by Rascal Flatts. Mm-hmm. And if you just look at the lyric on that, it's like, what you doing these? Oh, I run into my old flame. We used to go out. And she's like, what are you doing these days? He's like, well, I wake up and teardrops, they fall down like rain. I put on that old song, we used to dance to and go to work, come home, check the phone just in case you called. And then I go to bed and I dream of you. That's what I'm doing these days. I mean, grow some chest hair and move on with your life. The guy's totally whiny, totally, just, ugh. What a loser, right?
Yeah.
Weepy, just, ugh. Anyway, but then they put movement to it, interesting phrasing, a big melody, big chorus, and it's a hit #1 song. You can forgive a lot of weepiness, kind of sadness, heartbreak stuff if you package it like a hit. So that would be if we can't find a way to spin this more positive, at least you want to give it heartache with a beat. You want to do something with some tempo. Maybe it's an attitude thing because there is attitude built into this. Like you're calling them heartless to their face because it's not the only heart she had was mine. The only heart you had was mine. So you're telling them to their face through the radio, you heartless, and you broke mine. So there's attitude built in. So yeah, you could do like a Miranda kind of stomping, crazy ex-girlfriend kind of thing with that, which seems to, you can probably get away with it a little more, maybe female speaking to a male, because in generally you can speak more negatively to the male as a female artist than maybe the male talking to the female listener.
Yeah, it's a good point. You don't want to be coming off like a Weinstein or something. That angle is gonna evoke some emotion. So
right.
Yeah, you really probably want to go from a female to a male perspective.
Yeah, how many male bashing songs are there, quote unquote, male bashing songs versus female bashing songs that do well? Not as many, right?
Yeah.
And you're calling her heartless. So not that you couldn't write it that way, but that might be something too.
And by the way, that's just generally speaking, but I think the world has changed like in the last 8 months to the point where you can't, the whole Me Too, like you don't want to be bashing any females.
Yeah, that's dangerous. And so there's some built-in landmines here. One is this negative idea. One is you're speaking negatively to the listener, calling them out, calling them heartless. It could put the singer in a victim spot, which is, you want the singer to be, the hero, to overcome, to be empowered. That's stuff they're generally more drawn to than just being a victim. So however you build this thing, you want them to be coming out the other side of it okay and stronger, maybe a little bit wiser, even if they are heartbroken. So that would be kind of important to build in. So it's not so much just a woe was me whiny thing. But let's look at, is there something else that we could do with this? So what if, because I'm going to try, let's find, look, we know the obvious angle that 99.9% of writers would take this. You broke my heart, you heartless son of a gun. Okay. Is there something we can dive in deeper and go that extra mile and give it an extra twist that could make it stand out more? So what if the only heart you had was mine, basically until I came along? Like, until I loved you, the only heart you had was mine. Like the until, like, something where like you started having a heart because of my love for you or something. Might be something there, maybe, where it's more of a positive thing. Like, yeah, man, the only heart, and she told me the only heart you had was mine. I thought the only heart you had was mine, but now I'm seeing that.
Oh, I see what you're saying now. Yeah. Now you've grown into this. You've gone through this transformation into a better, deeper person, a better friend, a better significant other. And the reason that is because, when we first met, the only heart you had was mine. I like that.
Yeah. Which makes me want to think, but then it's, is it kind of arrogant? Like I saved you. Or could you flip that? So if we're going to chorus, say like, what, the only heart I had was yours. Like, this other person broke my heart. I didn't have a heart left, but for some reason you love me. Even when the only heart.
See,
now you're bringing me back to life, and I've got a heart again. Now it's like, oh, this is feeling cool. Like the only heart I had was yours, but you love me anyway. And now, you love me had enough love for both of us. Now I'm coming alive, and I have a heart again, and you have mine.
That's the money. Money.
That's how I would twist it in a co-write to go, oh, okay, that's feeling more positive, more like, yeah, and different. You don't see it coming. And if the title is The Only Heart I Had Was Yours, that's interesting. Like, well, what are they going to do with that? It makes me want to listen.
Yeah, I'm interested to hear how that story's going to.
Yeah, how are you going to pull that off? Oh, it's positive.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, this one, you could write it the way we're talking about, attitude, tempo. The only heart you have is mine. But you don't even have that anymore, you son of a gun. Okay, that's one way to do it. Now, let's twist it some more. The only heart I had was yours. So you loved me even when the only heart I had was yours. I was not a good person. I was heartbroken. I was blah, blah, blah. But for some reason, you loved me anyway. You stuck with me, and things are so much better now. You brought me back to life, kind of thing. And now that's
brilliant.
And that's why you'll always have my heart, because you loved me. You'll always have my heart because you loved me even when the only heart I had was yours, kind of thing. So, yeah, that would be something I'd I'd look at and be more interested in because it's positive. It's speaking to the listener, and most likely it'll be a male song then, because the female rescued me kind of thing. It shows some vulnerability for the guy, positive love. More male artists they're just more out there cutting records. So you're hitting a bigger number of artists that have a chance to get on the radio with a male song. You're speaking positively directly to the female listener, and it's a love song. So it's checking a lot of the boxes. Now, if you can put some groove, some tempo on that, then you're getting even better. I mean, ballads are great, but just not as many of them get on the radio. So I'm like, okay, it feels like a sincere love ballad. Okay, let's put some tempo on this. If we can put some groove, some stomp on this, some big production, something to give us more kinetics, more energy even, then you hopefully get the best of all the worlds. Because even if I'm not listening to the words, I like the groove, I like the feel. Now I'm listening to the words. Oh, I really like what you're saying to me. It's positive, makes me feel good.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of title, different kind of way of looking at it.
And it's equally, if not more, relatable.
Yeah, it's something more people want to say to someone else and someone else more want to hear. I mean, there's definitely the kiss-off stuff, but I think this one could be a bigger target, a bigger bullseye. More people would want to say this than say the negative thing.
Yeah.
So I just want to be liked. So maybe just put out a positive vibe, So
I like that, dude. Good job.
Thank you. Thanks. Hey, let's see here. Who is this title from? Bill.
I think it's either Capic or Capic.
Either way. I appreciate it. I was a little worried at first with it, as I always am with every one of these.
We ain't never not made it yet.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. And listen, you guys, if this is the kind of stuff I do in coaching sessions, I do one-on-one coaching sessions, I do coach writes, I do some of this stuff. And basically it's just me, you, but it's not on the air like this. All right, just me, you, privacy. You can throw me out song ideas. I'll help you refine them. We'll do stuff like this going, hey, what if you change this and here, let's twist it around. You can bring in stuff. You can bring in songs that are maybe finished to get feedback, ideas we can develop. If you have questions about the business, basically I'm at your disposal to help you out however I can. If you think some of the stuff would be valuable for your songs and your writing and your climb, I'd be happy to help you out with that. You can find my schedule. You can get all the details and book an appointment at songwritingpro.com/coaching. Songwritingpro.com/coaching. Get you all the details, hook you up. And actually, there have been a couple people that I've gone in and written a couple of these titles with. They ended up finding me afterwards like, hey, let's work on that. And we did a deeper dive to really flesh it out. And it's been some cool stuff. So
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it brings us to the end of another song title challenge. Remember, you can submit your song title, as many as you want, to info@daredevilproduction.com. Production is singular. There is no S. Info@daredevilproduction.com. Put all capital letters, song title challenge in the subject line, and it'll get into the right folder to be considered for the next episode.
Excellent. We'll see y'all then.
All right.
Song title challenge.